Okay, everybody, we are back with Game Over Cancer Day 4. So, not wasting any time, I'm going to pass it over to Commodore Canada and Dumpster Player to tell us what they'll be showing off. Take it away, guys.
What is this game, Captain?
Good afternoon, evening, everybody. I'm Commodorecanadia64. This is Dumpster Player. We are playing some Phantasy Star 4 Profound Distortion Randomizer.
So this is Phantasy Star 4, but it's a randomizer. What's different about it from the original game?
So it turns linear RPG into an 8-objective mission hunt. Certain locations are locked behind certain items, which give you access to all your locations and lets you clear off your 8 objectives. And then the edge opens up. For anyone who's played the game, the edge is the last area of the game, leads to the last boss. And then you just take her down, and then you win, hopefully.
Yep. Anyone who's played the original game will know how brutal it can be. The randomizer is no different, so there will be some prayers being made on Captain's side. Yep. I'll just say, yeah, I'm Dumpster Player too. I've been a long-term fan of the game, and I haven't played much recently, so I'll be asking Captain a lot of questions about the rando. I'm ignorant, and maybe I can spread some knowledge.
Perfect. Well, I'm ready to go.
Lady Ariana is the one who created the rando, so I'm not sure I believe her when she says she didn't know it existed.
All credit goes to her.
Countdown.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we've got Alice. How have we got Alice, Captain? This can't be.
Well,
I thought she was gone forever.
oh, dual android, brutal. I don't like this team already. So you start with randomized party. Any character that's in the game, including if anybody remembers Seth. Oh, wrong. As well as randomized stats, abilities, randomized techs and skills. And I'm gonna skip the basement for now.
So wait, so we fade toner or do we not fade toner?
I don't have Highness, and I don't have any escape pipes, so I'm definitely not going through the basement right now.
But if we did, we
long
would,
walk.
right? No, joking.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a little meme.
That's a problem.
I'm a hater of this location. Although it is much better nowadays because it now has 2 objectives. So essentially, we're going to be. Is this boss hunt?
This is... Ooh, Cycle Wand. This is what I'd like to call Voyage Mode. So it's locations only, no bosses.
Okay, so there are certain locations in the game. Kind of, if you've played Final Fantasy IV Rando, it's kind of a similar concept where there will be key items which we need to unlock locations which are on our kind of kill list. I believe there's 8 of them, and
Yep.
some objectives will have bosses behind them, and some won't. Yeah, so we've got our Hydro Shell. Was that an item, or did we start with that?
We started with it.
Okay, so it's like a location which allows us to quick travel effectively, kind of like the airship from the Final Fantasy games.
I'm on a flute hunt right now.
A cool flute?
Telepipes and escape pipes. Telepipes let you teleport between towns. Escapes let you leave a dungeon very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Being able to get your access to leaving
That's not
dungeons
good.
is very important because we want to minimize the time you have to walk back out of a dungeon. Some dungeons take minute, 2 minutes to enter and exit, so spending some time to get your method of quick exit in dungeons is useful.
Right, so a little bit of a grind here. So this is how I start off the run, getting a little bit of XP by doing a quick vehicle battle. It's completely safe. So we got Saner, Sar, Gra.
And our characters learn random abilities, right?
Everything's random. Yep.
Yep. So I think in this case, Ren and Demi still don't learn techniques because they have 0 TP.
That's correct.
But the skills that they learn, so there's two kind of broad ways of using abilities in Phantasy Star. There's what you would call skills, which don't cost MP or the TP in this game. And you have certain amount of uses of them, so you can only cast 3 of this per rest. And then there's techniques, which is kind of like normal magic in other games, which costs TP, but you can use them as many times as you have TP for. So when we have these randomized abilities, certain characters will learn this ability to teleport out of dungeons, but we don't know whether that's the case yet because the abilities are randomized.
You found the guard rod.
Found the was that Lost Shades? Is the joke item?
Yep.
Okay. Well, looking cool so far. I think Ren would suit the
Found
shades.
somebody's. Yeah, absolutely. Ren would be the perfect one to use them. All right. So still no luck in finding escape pipes or telepipes. Just gonna clear off all the free checks early. Laser barrier. That's nice. So I've got Saner, Laser Barrier, and Snow Crown. So I've got a good early macro for any boss fights if need be.
So,
I'm already level
Captain,
5.
we have 8 objectives. Why aren't we just rushing to our 8 objectives?
Actually, they're not listed here. So the 8 objectives are going to be in order: the Payata Basement, which is the first dungeon in the vanilla game; the Hangar, which is on Desolus; Molcom, which you've already actually visited, which is the burnt down town; Bioplant, Plate System, Mist Valley, Valhalla Fort, and Wreckage, which means we need 4 key items to find to complete this seed.
Even though on there, I don't think I saw a super hard boss location, but you may need to defeat those to get the key items for the easier locations, which is sometimes a trap in the seed. You think, okay, this is going to be an easy seed, and then you spend an hour looking for that one item behind the super
Yep.
boss. So
basically that. So what I'm doing early is checking off the free locations where there are no bosses. I grabbed a couple of early levels to make my life just a little bit easier. Basically loading up on some gear and trying to find some basic necessities for the seed, which I mentioned before, the teleport pipes and the escape pipes.
a good kind of
graphite
thing
shield.
as well when we're walking through. I mean, it's really hard for Captain to do right now, but usually while you're walking through these locations, which take a long time to walk, you're planning your next route and what you're going to do. If I find what I'm looking for, does it change my route and things like that? But being on stream talking makes that a little bit harder, but Captain's experienced. He's been around.
So basically your main things you want to focus on aside from routing is your levels. There's every area that has a boss has a certain kind of average level you should be before you should attempt it. So you got to balance out location checks, what levels you're at, so much grinding you need to do, and your gear, because even no matter how high your level you are, if you don't have proper gear, you're going to get wiped. Hey, there we go. Buy up a bunch of these.
Well, we found our shoes.
And I found my pipes.
Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't realize what that girl's showroom was behind in Iedo, but I do now and appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, just getting loot. Exactly. Okay, Wreckage is one of our objective locations. So we're going to knock this off here real quick. So we're 2 objectives down after this is clear. 6 more to go.
Another thing about the rando is that the chests are also randomized. So this is usually an early game location, which has quite a few chests, but it's a really good place to loot, because in order to do some of the harder checks, you're gonna need better gear. In terms of defensive stats, levels don't really matter that much. In like for defense and magic defense, for HP it does. So to get to the end game, you need kind of at least medium tier gear, which is useful to do these loot places. Even if you don't get the gear you want, you'll get the gold to buy the gear that you want.
Yep. And that's might be a hunt later on too, is trying to figure out what I need, what's left, where do I hunt down the gear that I need. Okay, we're gonna go to Payata.
I think that this game, I guess with a lot of randomizers, because you have to improvise so much on the spot, it's relatively easy to do it slowly, but it's really hard to do it fast because you have sometimes many options, and you're trying to figure out what one, given your party's abilities and stats, would be the best route. So right now, since this is an objective, right, we're doing this one because you just do your objectives if you can, I guess.
Okay, boss time. So we're going to. Oops, I definitely wanted the lack of gear. We're gonna equip. You can have that. Skriz. You can take the Dezo. You can take no Dezo. Reflect mail. Alice. Laser barrier. Snow crown. And you've got that. Quick save. Who's
I
home?
noticed she gave.
Oh no.
Yeah. This has the stats of the original boss, right?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna laser barrier. That'll be fine.
The way the boss randomization works in this is that the bosses still use all of their original moves, but they get the stats of the original location. So in this case, this is the first boss in the game, so it's quite weak.
And I found explode.
But it does a lot of damage. These enemies do a lot of damage if they get the move off.
So now I'm gonna go check out Mile. I was gonna do the space checks first, but now I'm like, I got explode. Let's go see if we can take down Mile to get some real levels. I didn't set the warp point yet, so there we go. Perfect. Yeah, we didn't need her anyway. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Tammy's laying on the ground like usual.
I saw that you gave Ren the Laco, the better equipment. That's the only reason why Demi died there, right? Because we play favorites.
Well, he's also set at the front of the party, so he should have he should be more likely to take a hit before anybody else. So, unfortunately, that just didn't happen.
The Sandworm is a huge EXP accelerator because it's usually a boss which you have to do a quest for to trigger, and it gives a disproportionate amount of XP compared to how hard it is. So that is often a very good check to do once you've got a few early levels, and in that case, that randomized enemy was not a boss, so its original I guess enemy unit it doesn't count as a boss, so it can be insta-killed. Storm gear? What's storm gear? That's new.
That's something Lady Ariana is going to have to answer because I know it is new. That if this was Ring Hunt, I'd be doing really well right now.
If I was to guess, it's some sort of electrical resistance, or I don't know.
Who's got the who's got Ryuka? Rune does. Perfect. It's good to know. So now I don't have to worry about teleport pipes.
So even though like the abilities of the characters are randomized, the stat growths of the characters are still the same, I believe. So Rune is still a good wizard, and Ren is still a tanky boy.
And Demi's still useless.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
I think Demi would be okay if Ren didn't exist in the game, but he does. So
You can have that back. And you can have that back. You're gonna have to do a shopping trip.
So in terms of your party composition, you've kind of got 3 tanks. Alice is kind of like a physical tank, I would call her, because she gets a lot of agility, so she gets a lot of defense. And a magic caster, so it's not too bad. If you can get your ultimate weapons, this team will be doing some good damage while having some good HP.
It's healing that's the problem right now.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 androids. Androids can't get healed in mass unless you have Miracle, which Grizz does, but he's not the spellcaster, so it's not going to be a very good Miracle. You have the Call Flu.
Yeah. Maybe
Those
end
are
game
commercials.
it won't be healing Mejids, but for now, most of the game, if he's fast enough, he will get the Mejid off. I mean the healing off at least. It's something.
Which means less turns for the end boss, or less enemies, less team that can attack during the end boss when I have to spend most of the time healing. But we'll see. We'll see how she goes. We're only just beginning here. Hangar's another objective, which we're clearing off now, so we're down to 4 objectives left, so we've already cleared half the objectives. But this is the easy stuff. Plasma rifle, okay. I'll take that. Forgot to do my shopping trip. That's okay. Come on. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. Let's give that to Grizz. He needs a weapon. There we go. And after this, I think I am going to start working on some levels. Motor ring. Wow, if this was only a ring hunt. This would be incredible.
So I guess to explain actually on the stream what the UIs are on the top left. So on the top left, there's the 3 maps. These are locations where does it show up in green if you've been there, or is these in red if you?
Red is I have not been there yet. Green is where I can go. Red is where I cannot go, and gray is where I've been.
I like that. That's pretty cool. And then to the right of that is the list of key items. Is on the first 9, I believe, and then there's some utility items below that. So the 5 rings, I believe you have 4, I guess, judging by that tracker.
I have all the rings. I have the Eclipse Torch.
Yeah.
I have the Psycho Wand, and I've done 4 objectives, which I actually forgot to mark down on my tracker. Yeah, you can keep that.
But yeah, so the real thought going through your mind as you do these objectives is, how am I going to kill the final boss? Because if any of you have not played Phantasy Star 4 before, the final boss is what we call the Great Equalizer. You can be storming through the seed, and then the boss decides to say, no, you will not complete me today.
Actually, Rune has the ban. I'm going to use that instead. Someone's got Saner. You've got Saner. Does anyone have Vision? No, but you got Warcry, so I mean, there's that. And then end with a Bozzy Bolt. So the only thing I don't have is Vision, which is fine. Dex up is not a big deal.
So what were you doing there, Kat?
Making a macro. So in this game is kind of the first of its kind that actually lets you build something called a macro, which not only can you choose your attacks, but you can also choose in what order they execute. So it allows you to set up, in this case, a defensive or buffing macro, where I can start at bosses, put up my magic defense, put up my regular defense, my speed, all in one. As you'll see, actually, I might even need it. Good night. Perfect. And I set up a macro for an insta kill for just these bosses as well, which allowed Rune to go first, choose the right attack, and take care of that minor boss for me.
Yeah, macros are really useful for So if you know that you're going to be doing the same input over and over, you can save a lot of time by using a macro. So against most bosses, you want to put up your defensive buffs first. So we often create macros for our defensive buffs. We will have something like a healing macro, maybe a full all-out attack macros, things like that. Right now, we don't really know what our abilities are because we're kind of low level. So we're not creating as many macros because they take time to set up. And if we're not going to be using them for most of the game, then it's not worth putting on.
Alright, so here I'm going to do my first save split. And I'm going to go check out Monson Fissure. Another really high XP spot, minor boss. Should be an easy insta-kill, hopefully. And then get a good chunk of XP. Then that opens up the seed by quite a bit. This one's not going to be as easy. And
Oh, they know Legion?
Oh, yeah. Random AI. Welcome.
It's because the boss spot probably has a really low mental, although I thought Legion had a very
Luckily
high
enough.
base spell power, but maybe the enemy's Legion is, or like this Legion is weaker? I'm not sure. Because Rune's Legion does 244 base, I believe.
Yeah. So not bad. This is a very low mental spot. It's basically meant to be just straight physical, so it's their single attack that's going to hurt. But I should be able to take them down one by one here. This actually should not be a huge issue.
Something someone's mentioned in the chat is actually the combo techniques. So, for example, there's a spell which is wind, and if you use a spell which is fire right after it, you can create a firestorm combination attack and things like that, which macros are really useful for setting up as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anybody I can really macro with in this team, so probably not going to be seeing a heck of a lot of it.
Yeah, because a lot of the macros are from the spellcasters, and we only have one proper
I've got
spellcaster.
Burst Rock, so if I find somebody with Nefoy, I might be able to pull off Shooting Star just for the memes. Okay, level 2023. We are going to now work our way to Desolus, I guess, because I got to pet the cat, so I got to work my way there anyway. So I'm going to head to Desolus now that I found the ice truck.
What's your favorite macro, animation-wise? Not macro, combination attack.
Combination? Conduct Thunder.
Yeah,
Hands
same.
down.
I really love the blue thunder.
Yeah. Conduct Thunder, hands down. Okay, let's make a quick stopover in Zosa to grab the teleport point.
Grand Cross as well is
Grand Cross, I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go pet the kitty. Hopefully I don't get misfilled.
Well, more than one, right?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll pet the second
not.
cat.
Yeah.
Napalm shot. Okay. Give that to you. And then we'll give Demi the plasma rifle. Now we got 2 androids that can actually do something. Rather than just the one. I think she's caught up in levels too. Yeah. Only behind by 3. I really gotta find some armor though. I've got an Alice and a Rune with no protection. Ah, misfailed. It's like the only door that you come out the same way you go in. So when you're holding your controller up. All right, so first we talk to this cat, who's imitating the old man. And now we talk to this cat. The rabbit cap is procured. What a useless item.
Just like its king. What?
I heard nothing. So we're going to work our way to Mies. Grab the teleport point here.
So the way the teleport points work in this game is that you have to, you can only teleport to towns you've already been to or entered at least once. So that's why we do that. going them out.
I usually save this one, but I found no key items that are helpful to me, so I've got to start checking things in sequence here. And plus, there's a frost axe treasure room, but it was useless.
The base story to the original game is actually really cool, so I would highly recommend anyone who likes retro games to play it. It was really, really good for its time in terms of storytelling. Most games at this time was like a 2-sentence kind of explanation. Oh, I'm ape. I'm need to rescue princess, and then at the end you get 2 lines. But yeah, this was for a JRPG of 1993 or whatever it was. It was amazing.
Absolutely. And what do we have on the pedestal? Ooh, that's terrifying, to say the least. Still haven't found a good, useful key item yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to worry that this is one of those seeds which you may have to travel a lot,
Yeah.
and maybe to an air castle that we don't like.
Don't make me go. Please don't make me go.
I don't know. I like the music there.
Oh, great music. Horrible dungeon.
Well, you got the rap. You know, if you put on the rappy cap, I'm sure it's fine.
Absolutely. The yeah, starting to make me a little nervous. Plus, I got to worry about levels. I'm only level 23, so a couple of decent spots. Another mage dagger. Oh, Lacko axe. Okay, I'll take that. That's gonna be. You can keep that. It's gonna be a better one for you. Telepipe to Gumbius, warp outside, and now we're gonna go to the weapons plant. Oh. Just trying to play catch up on my tracker here. You know, it's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah, I
Like
was
a
just
good long while.
thinking, yeah, because I
I
believe it was also slightly changed as well, like
yeah,
where you have to
it's
go
on the
for
other
the
side.
item. So I've actually forgotten where to go as well. But it's one of those that, like, as you do it more and more, it's just muscle. Like, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just moving my hands and it's going places. Especially
Yeah.
in Blue Book.
It's the last several seeds that I've ran, I haven't had to come here, so it's just like, wait a minute, my brain skipped. Yeah, left door, right side. And survey says garbage.
It's looking garbage.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is move on to Tyler, because I think Tyler had skate pipes. So I'm gonna do a little shopping trip. I'm gonna sell some stuff, clear out my inventory. So let's start. I've never been a big fan of shields. I definitely don't want to sell that. That's handy.
Ah, yeah,
Should
maybe.
have kept the Lacko gear, but that's okay.
So does the crystal still dispel the
Yes.
Zeo's barrier?
Yep.
Because you
Far
do
into
have
Zeo. I do have the
tracker
cycle
one.
one, so it's not a huge deal, but I do like to keep it just in case. It makes for better macroing or better options when it comes to setting up the that. Would be that. So many of those. Holy mackerel. Okay, that should be good. No, I don't need teleport point. I need these. There we go.
Unfortunately, there's no buy 10 option in this game. You just have to spam the buy button. Yeah, that's life.
Just as a reply to the Discord, Terex, if I'm saying that correctly, during boss fights is fine. Lots of time to in during boss fights. Okay, just waste one of these. Being named Tyler. Head back to Motavia, and I'm gonna start clearing out bosses. I guess it's gonna be Ladea Tower next.
Yeah, generally the way these kind of speed runs, or at least the way we've kind of figured out the optimized routes, is you kind of in the beginning you're trying to figure out what items you've got for free, what spells you have, and what kind of equipment you have, and then you clear boss after boss from that point. Because it's a lot faster to, even if you're like 3 or 4 levels higher with good gear, to clear a boss, then try to do it under leveled.
Or
Bosses can be
undergeared.
pretty mean. Yeah,
Mhm.
bosses can be pretty mean where, you know, one character goes down and then your healer goes down and then you've got no damage, and so you kind of don't want to get stuck in that loop. You would prefer to have your ducks in a row before you go to do bosses.
And with randomized boss AI, there's even less sort of prep work you can do when you get into said bosses. You're like, oh, I know what this boss is going to do. I know what abilities he has. Well, not anymore. It's all random. Okay, who do we have?
So I believe this is the first major boss location that we've had.
Yep.
So there will be no insta-killing here.
Okay, easy one.
Okay. Yeah. I saw the black screen for a second. I was like, oh, is that the number 2? But it's Dark Force 1.
Okay, interrupted. Not bad.
So, if I was to watch this for the first time, I probably wouldn't know what Barrier, D-Ban, or Sena did. So I'll just explain. Barrier is our magic defense buff, D-Ban is our physical defense buff, and Sena is our speed buff. Once you cast it, you don't need to cast it again for the rest of the battle, except for speed. If someone dies, then you need to recast a speed buff.
I'm gonna heal here.
Okay, Chris does have a lot of miracles actually.
He does.
He's probably the worst character to have it, but it's some fixed healing. So the way android healing works is that only androids have an ability which can help themselves recover, but it's single target. But healing from skills like Miracle instead of healing from magic techniques does work on androids, so it's quite useful to have lots of them.
Okay, before I head into Rappy Cave, I want to get some gear in order, so I'm gonna do an armor shop. Still 2 of my guys are without anything decent. I'll take that. And I'll take that. There. That solves that issue. Everybody else seems to be... You've got Reflect. Zerg. Oh, he doesn't have any armor. That's a problem too, actually. Nothing there.
I was gonna say the rules of the rando. When I saw that lacquer shop, I was like, whenever you buy a piece of gear, you immediately find a shop with the better gear in it. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that was. Wait, I can't carry anything else? Am I full again? I am.
Full of escape pipes.
Basically that, yeah. There we go. Buy one for each. There. Everybody should be fine. Now I shouldn't be... the only thing I have to worry about now is going to be... levels. And key items. Okay.
So the way the kind of boss randomization is dealt with in this rando is that there's minor bosses and there's major bosses. Major bosses are usually a lot of the hardest bosses in the game, and minor bosses tend to be the ones that are kind of are weak or random enemies, drawn from the random enemy pool that you can find on the world map. So far, we've only seen one major boss, and so the bosses that are coming up could potentially be a lot more challenging, especially if there's a high strength boss in this location, for example, like Dark Force 2. Okay.
Or 3.
Yeah,
Shadowbind.
He might slap
Just
someone quite hard.
He might. The problem is he can keep reducing my agility, so he can start interrupting my turns, which is a problem with this boss. We are going to start plugging away. You know what? You can just hit. I think. Yeah, this is fine. I think Demi had vision, which I should put up. But this will be a pretty decent fight. This will be fairly easy.
So the best that Dark Force 3 can do here is probably one-shot rune or something like that.
Possibly.
But he won't be able to wipe the party.
No.
Because the ability, I think actually corrosion is physical, but it's not very strong, I think.
No. This is a pretty easy boss for this location. Should pose no trouble. Yeah. And just like that, some quick experience.
Yeah, this is a spot which has a lot of strength, but it has low HP, so if you get fortunate on the moves
Found
it uses...
Megiddo Fest regen. Color Scarf. Oh my goodness, where is everything?
Well, if we had Raja, he would be saying it's in Garubert Power, but we have a dumpster, so I'm saying it's an air castle.
Well, I can warp to Tano quick and check the cellar since we've already got that location. And then I think I'm gonna follow the key items. I've got the I've had the Psycho Wand off the very beginning, so I'm gonna go do Nervous after.
So what objectives do we have left to complete?
Bioplant, Plate System, and Valhalla Fort. Actually, we only have 3.
So we're looking
so we need
for
2 keys.
the
in
Olschlein to open the Bioplant and the Valhalla. Is it Valhalla key or Plate key? But I guess
Both.
Okay, both. Okay.
I need both. I don't need gear anymore, so I can stop checking chests. This will knock off Tano.
It's
Ooh.
always, I was going to say, it's always the Victor axe in Turner. Like,
yeah. That's an
I just-
excellent find.
I mean, yeah, you're not too sad to see it, given it's not a key item, but it's Grizz's ultimate weapon, so he's going to be doing damage now.
Yeah, he's just gonna hit like a freight train from here on in, especially against evil enemies.
But before the siege started, I could have told you that the Victorax was going to be there. It's just lore. It's either that or a telepipe, and there's no in between.
Yeah, basically. There's almost never an item down there. Almost never a key item down there. Almost never. Just like there's always a sword in Swamp Palace and ALTTPR. It's just law. Rando law. So there's a fun little trick in dungeons like this. Anything that has an activation, like a door, the Sega Genesis, and by extension emulators, don't handle movement and inputs very well. It's kind of one than the other. So while you're moving up to a door, as you're entering the square, you can pre-buffer the open command by hitting C. And by the time your character stops the door's already open, and you just kind of like walk right through. There's no delay. Unlike here, where I have to stop and open the door. So it saves you frames, but it's just fun. You can do it with initiating command consoles or doing chests. All right, who's home?
It's me, Zio. Devaz. This could be a little bit tricky, but given that it's a D-ban, it's a shield from Rune, early game, this could have been really, really rough. But I think now it's relatively fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the gear that you just bought.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna... I'll have to stick to Positron Bolt for... He's the only one who's not going to be able to... Nice!
You can do that?
With Victory Axe has a stun now.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, if this is Ring Hunt mode, this game would be over already. It would have
I'm
just
not
been
sure
a
it should
grinding
work
go.
against bosses though. But it's strong enough. Well, he's not moving.
He's not moving. Technically, I can actually run from this fight and win. But I would lose the XP. So I don't want to do it.
It's about, what, 4,000? Something like that? 5,000?
51-ish. Legend. Very nice. Silver Crown. Alright, well, we're level 29. It's time to start thinking about the hard-to-beat areas.
I think that's basically all you've got left. That you could...
29. Okay. I want to do a quick grind for some levels before I even think of doing that. Who do I have? Okay, you've got Magid. And I think you have Gra. Okay, attack. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of a grind before I head up there because learning the lesson from before and going into... These are the very upper end dungeons that are insane, and some of the bosses can hit really hard. And given the random AI, do I have a call flute? Did I pick one up somewhere? I do. I need a few more levels before I tackle it.
So generally, for the final boss, you're going to want to be around level 38 to 40, something like that. So given that Captain's going to have to grind anyway for that, you can kind of do some grinding now and then fight the bosses, rather than fight the bosses at a lower level and then grind after.
Yeah.
Of course, this means that there's a risk of maybe dying in these random battles, but that's better than dying 5 minutes into a really hard boss.
Yep. Especially given the locations that I have left. They're all high-level areas. So, we're going to get our grind going now. So we've got some time if there's anything that needs to be done or said during this marathon. I also want to thank everybody for being here and watching, and thank the hosts for letting me be part of this awesome event for such a good cause. So this will be about another minute or two. Oops.
When I was younger, because Rune was my favorite character, I used to put him in front with no shields. He always had the Psycho 1 for extra mental.
Yeah,
So-
and I think he was the one with regen, so... Oh, I get medic power.
So, I learned later that that was literally the worst thing I could have done, because you're more likely to be targeted if you're on the front rows. But, you know, sometimes it's not what's optimal, sometimes it's what's cool.
Oh, there's the first paralyze.
Rune with Kid is cheating, surely.
Oh,
He doesn't have
easily.
enough TP to spam it, but he is the best magic attacker in the game.
By far. This is going to make for a really nice PD3 fight.
Yeah, I think in terms of damage, your team's kind of sorted.
Yep.
In terms of
Healing.
reliability of your healing casters, I think it's pretty much not going to be guaranteed at all. So good luck.
No, yeah, it's going to be a tough one for sure.
So one thing that makes the final boss quite hard is that the final boss has an ability that cancels your buffs. So when they cancel your speed buff, that means that the boss can outturn you, and it can use an ability called Majid, which you won't have your defensive buffs up for because it cancelled the previous turn, and one-shot your entire team.
Yep. It's bad news.
So you want you want characters to be fast to put up your buffs, but also even outside of the cancelling, if you have a really slow healer, there's a possibility of that healer getting outturned and getting
This'll be
two
fine.
shot.
We should be okay now. So now I'm gonna head off to Rycross. Do the I'm gonna go do the Guardian Towers.
So I'm hoping for Dark Force 2 and Strength Tower,
Oh no.
and Salu's...
Rephase and Courage.
Oh yeah, Rephase and Courage is good too, yeah.
I'm praying for neither of those things.
I don't know what you would do if Rephase was Encourage, so I'm hoping for it. Good luck. Is Ren your barrier caster?
No, Demi is.
Okay. So
But I also have Sashu, Rune. If I choose to change it up, Rune has Sashu. So that would actually make for a stronger barrier.
the cool thing about the way the buffs work in this game is that there is some diversity in like who is good at what, because strength characters...
Oh no.
Oh, not the Rappy.
Oh no.
Ah. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Rappy slaps in this dungeon.
So, yeah, it has a high strength stat in this dungeon, and Rappy likes to slam its bum and hurt everyone.
Yes. I hope I have Jaloon somewhere. That would be really nice.
Rune's having some difficulty standing, but the rest of them seem like they're fine.
Okay, you can do that. You can flare. You can miracle. Nobody has Jaloon as far as I can tell. Which is fine. So I can't bring this attack down, but at least I can survive a hit.
You don't hear dancing because the noise gate is on our mics, so you can't hear the sound of dancing in the background.
Oh no. Yeah, it's pretty well mandatory to dance during this fight. It's the best music in the game, hands down.
Yeah.
Next to the end boss music. Ooze.
This should be the final boss.
It should be the final boss.
It's just staring at us, menacingly.
I mean, Rappy is the supreme ruler of the Algol system. Our Lord and Savior, King Rappy, Lord of Terror.
What if the Silent Temple Guardian person was actually just Rappy behind a curtain?
Yeah,
Like,
pulling all the
"Chaz,
strings.
you are useless. Here, you have
I'm
the
glad I don't
obsidian."
have Chaz. Okay.
Oh, I'd rather Chaz than Demi.
Yeah, 100%.
Chaz is
I can argue
actually in
that fact.
Rando, unironically, probably up there as one of the best characters.
We have
Um,
Elshling.
He's kind of good. He's good at everything. He's not amazing at anything, but he's good at everything.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is do something I don't normally do, and I'm gonna follow the key item. I'm not gonna bother with Courage right now. I'll come back if need be. With 2 item checks in Biolab, and only 2 more key items to go, there's a very good chance. And I've already got the levels I need, so...
So what you're telling me is you don't have the courage to go there.
Ha! Pun
You
intended.
had the strength to go to the tower, but you didn't have the courage to see it.
You are not wrong. I do not want to find out what's in Courage.
Yeah, we
Not even
haven't
a little bit.
seen any high mental bosses yet, so it's almost
No.
guaranteed to be a meanie. There's the Rephase, there's
He's somebody.
Lashik, there's
Zio.
Saluz, yeah, Zio's. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a big meanie.
It's guaranteed to be a whole lot of no fun.
No fun for you, but
Okay, we got our first Amber Eye of the seed. That's
yeah.
a little interesting.
What does the Amber Eye do?
Who's got the lowest armor? You've got Laco, you've got Reflect, Silver, and Silver. I think I would hand Guard. I think I'm going to get a Guard Robe this time around. So Amber Eyes are an item you can trade to random locations around the world, or around the world's, and you can trade them for Guard tier armor, which is the strongest armor in the game. We're limited to 5 legendaries, so you can only pick between a couple pieces of armor or shields. Like a
But
really
shields
top-tier
don't
shield.
exist in the game, right?
Sure they do. I just don't use them. I don't. Some people really like shields and they are useful in their respective times, but I don't personally like them.
I like shields for it's mostly the magic defense, so laser barrier, because a lot of the armor gives you a lot of physicals. For example, the guard robe, which is the most magically of armor, gives about 23, I think, mental magic resistance.
There's
Ooh,
the Valky.
spicy. And 2 laser barriers, I believe, gives 22 mental, so makes up for it. Especially some characters that are weak in HP, it can make the difference.
Oh, missed it. 6 objectives. We're also heading to the 7th. We only got 1 more to go because we just need to find that plate key. That's done. Oh, come on. There we go. Watch the plate key be here.
I have a
Please let me
question. How many characters are you intending to keep alive when you get to PD3?
4. On purpose, I'm going to let Demi lay on the ground.
Why is that?
Because Demi is terrible.
That's enough for me. Okay, so that,
If Lady Ariana could reach through the screen and strangle me right now, she probably would.
Someone pulling their hair out right now. but it's not us. So Demi is an okay character for most of the seed, but the problem is that androids have very low mental defense because they have 0 in their mental stat, and that means that they take a lot of damage from the boss's magical moves. Ren has a lot of HP. Demi has an okay amount of HP, so basically she spends her entire time healing anyway. So generally, you're like, I'll just keep her on the floor. Unfortunately, that's just what the dev team did. Not the real, not the randomizer dev team, the Sega Genesis.
Ban Commodorecanadia64. Oh no. Don't do that.
Well, you can't complete the run now.
Alright. Now we're gathering up the courage to head to Courage.
And then we're going to find out it's an air castle.
Yeah, I think that's my next stop, Air Castle. I still haven't done Kuran. So I've got Kuran, which is a space station. I've got Climate Center, which is 2 minor bosses. I've got Garbage Tower, which is exactly as it sounds. And
Crossing fingers.
Soldiers, which is awful.
Rephase, crossing fingers.
You know what? I need to make a
Healing macro.
healing macro. That should be fine for now. Okay, this is going to be a one-hit KO fest, so buckle in.
Yeah. Well, Ren can survive, maybe.
Bye, Demi. Oh, by the skin of her teeth.
Because this is, Shadow Breath is actually physical. I believe it goes off its strength value, but, sorry. It's magical, but it goes off its strength value rather than its magical value. So
Still hits like a truck, though.
yeah, its base value is huge.
So we'll get here. Yeah, this will one-shot Alice, one-shot Rune. Grizz, Demi, and Ren will probably survive it. I just hope it doesn't take a Rune out. I think he's my only. Oh no, I got. Yeah, see, he's still good there. Just macro that one.
Its highest damaging move should be its lightning attack, but Ren and Demi, I think, has to resist some, so...
Yeah, we got the rings. Ooh,
It's close.
look at that. It is close, but they're surviving. I've got lots of levels. I'm at level 37, so...
If you came here at level 29,
Oh, yeah.
good luck. Every single character dies in one hit.
Oko Fest for sure. Oh, that's still a lot of damage, even for Ren.
Well, I'm personally hoping your item is not here, so we can get some more hard bosses. That's that's.
Which almost puts that grind for nothing.
So what item are we hoping is not here?
Plate key.
Okay, plate key.
It's the last thing we need.
No plate key. No plate key.
It was here.
Okay.
Shouldn't have left. Shouldn't have left.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go
no
mode.
courage. So
Quick plate
go
system
mode. So
check.
what
Yep.
now? What do we do now?
So right now we'll be heading back to do the plate. Actually, I should heal. Head back to the plate system, which is no boss. It's just a quick check. I'm gonna grab my guard robe and then I'm heading for the end boss. I've already got some macros in place. I think I'm ready to just dive. So we go to Monson. Plate is just north. We've got the plate key now. Oop. There's that pre-buff the menu by accident. Yeah, as Lady Arena said, I do have both lightning resist rings for the androids, so it's not as bad. But I may purposely just not heal Demi just to leave her on the floor. Just on purpose. We'll see.
So, does Demi have medic power?
Demi does have medic power, which obviously makes my statement a joke. Because if anybody gets put to sleep, if anybody dies, medic power can restore them basically instantly. It just doesn't have a whole lot of healing potential, so it can be used as a supplement or an emergency, which is actually really nice.
You do have regen as well to get rid of that stuff, but it's obviously not AoE, so... The problem is that maybe it takes 20 turns, 30 turns to defeat PD3, and Demi's going to be healing for almost all of those, so...
You know what? Yeah. Take the Cycle Wand off and give him the Laser Barrier.
But also,
Give
is
some
Demi
guard.
your barrier caster in your macro?
I might change that up, actually. There we go. Rune's got some protection. And I'm going to swap the Rappy Cap off him after. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to switch up the macro because Alice has Blessing. And Rune Sashu will protect against Megid a little bit better. So I'll swap that macro around. I'll put the Motor Ring on Rune, and then I'll drop into the boss fight after the edge is done.
So, what does the motor ring do?
Fire protects, fire resists. So if he gets hit with any fire attacks from the first phase, it'll only do 1 damage.
Also
Among
gives
other
6
stats.
agility though, well,
Yeah,
5 agility or something like that.
Which
Yeah.
100% because I need him to be able to go first to cast Sashu. So an agility buff is definitely going to be welcome there.
So level 39, especially for this party, is definitely not a guarantee of the boss. Like, so far,
No, not guaranteed at all.
in the hard locations, the bosses were not the hard. They weren't easy, but they weren't the hardest they could have been either. But this is always a brutal fight.
You have Deban. I'd rather you... No, you don't. Okay, that's fine. You have Blessing, Grizz has Zaner, Demi has Vision, and Ren can pause a bolt. So there's that. Then I'm going to equip Motor Ring, save, and end boss time. And that at 1 hour, which is actually really, really decent pacing. Forgot to click the last. There we go. Alright, phase 1's a bit of a joke. Everything is done manually because it's only single target attacks, and I do want to get, you know, everybody...
That's why we leave Demi on the floor, let's be honest.
I actually can't have that happen first.
Yeah.
I need her alive, at least the first little bit.
Yep, so we need her alive to cast her first buffs, which makes our rest of our characters more likely to crit on their attacks. So.
Yep. I definitely need her alive right now. She can die later, but I need her alive right now.
Yeah.
If he could shadow Ren maybe off the bat, that would be nice.
Yeah, that's true. Phase 1 is a joke, immediately dies.
Yeah. There we go.
But that is
better.
a little bit worrying though with the barrier because that's that could potentially happen and you know, cancelling times.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we're gonna... Where's my POW shield? It was back here somewhere. Oh, right there it is. Nafoy and Megid. Rune's got lots of TP, so it should be good to spam a couple of these here and there. Plus I got a fast to knock about. Perfect. Do I have... I don't have the Photon Eraser. I'm just going to pause the bolt. This will be fine. You can flare. You can swing like a freight train. You can War Cry. Midget again. I only need 1 attack up buff, so I think I'm good now to up until the first canceling. If I can get predictions in chat, but usually between 1 and 5, how many cancelings I'm going to get by phase 3. Between 1 and 5.
My rule is 4 minus the number of times the sandworm uses Earthquake, but we didn't see it, so...
It's true, we didn't.
I'm going to go with 3.
Nice. 3 cancelings. I'm hoping for none, but, we'll see.
I'm hoping for our most brutal experience for you. Oh, that's it. We've done it.
100. Yeah, there's phase 1.
Wait.
Phase 2 is going to get a little bit harder now. Luckily, phase 2 is the hardest on androids, but we do have the rings that protect against electrical attacks on them, so it actually shouldn't even be that bad.
It's a significantly harder though than the first phase because it does a lot of
AoE
damage.
Yeah.
And it will probably use up some of your healing to heal the rest of your characters, although that was good. That was a single target.
I'm okay with that, because she can just heal herself, which is fine. My record for beating phase 2 is 55 seconds. The fastest I've beaten this phase.
Since records began.
Since records began. The rune... Oh yeah, he doesn't have an attack. That's fine. That hit pretty hard. Actually, that hit Alice really hard.
I think Alice still has a silver mail, so her magic resistance is a little lower.
So that's not good. We're in damage control mode now.
Yep. Profound Darkness is no joke.
Okay. We're back up to full. I just got to get buffs on Alice again, which I can worry about after. I might medic power. Should be enough.
Another really tricky thing about this fight is that the abilities it uses has huge damage ranges. So sometimes you're like, oh, it did 100 damage last time, so that's enough. And then it would do 160.
Okay. So a couple of quick miracle, rest damage. Wow. I've never had that happen before.
One of the best
Flare
OSTs of all time.
And yep. This should start me off in a pretty decent range stat-wise. There we go. Okay.
Bye,
First
Demi.
brigade, let's see what kind of shape we're in.
Ooh. She lives.
I don't like how little... She might spend the rest of her time recovering this. Miracle. Oh, this is so bad. I made a mistake. I should have gone for more healing. I got Ataraxia. But I might not spend a ton of time keeping her recovered. Alice might not survive that one either. Excellent. Let's do that again. There we go. That was lucky RNG. Okay. Pause the bolts, recover, miracle. My hardest hitter is stuck on heal duty. This is so bad.
As someone who's lost a race because they chose the wrong macro, I'm gonna be silent and let you do your thing.
Wrong macros do happen, and it's never fun. Might medic power along with. I might even just skip macros altogether at this point, because this is gonna get a little close. Okay, Ren's got to switch to heal. Maybe. I might be. Oh, Demi's. Oh, first canceling of the, Sword to 1 canceling. But we got Sashu up, so we're good. We're good. But Demi needs some heals. Single target. Excellent. That means I can now focus on just straight damage at this point. And, small heal for Alice. You can use your last Magid. We might be coming up to... If I can stave off a canceling, she might be dead in the next 2 rounds. After this one. That's excellent. So means we can just recover, flare... back to Nefoy, and you can switch to Legend. Okay, bye, Demi. Alice is next. Canceling. Runes out of Sashu. And I don't have an... Oh, I do. We have a barrier. Gonna use another miracle. You can Saner. And you could Ataraxia. Yeah, she was gonna get hit hard for that. Okay, since I got canceling again, she should be down very soon. Come on. Well, down to the wire. I have no way of bringing anybody back. This might be a close finish. God. Oh, time. Oh my goodness. That was getting hairy there for a minute.
And only one.
But Demi's on the ground, so run validated?
Both the Rune and Demi. Yeah.
Oh, that was stressful. And that is Phantasy Star 4 Profound Distortion, created by the great Lady Ariana, who's actually in chat with us. For any more information, definitely hit her up or join the Discord. Again, thank you so much for having me, for letting me showcase this awesome run for a great cause, and hopefully we can put a game over to Cancer.
Thank you very much for that awesome run and the awesome comms as well. Very informative. A game I have never seen, but it definitely looked like it was a lot of fun, so I'll have to check out that rando.
It's a blast.
Definitely looks like it. So with that being said, don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back in a bit with some Mega Man 6.
Exciting.